my gosh, you guys. Well, Brain Fresh TV has just, gone up a notch here because of my guest today. I have Dr. Robyn Tiger. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, I'm so honored. I'm just thrilled. You never know. Like you never know who you get to connect with in these internet streets, and I'm glad that we get time together.
Yeah, yeah, so glad.
So
Great way
thank
to
you.
start off the day today. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, where's your home base? Where are you physically?
I am in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of Asheville, North Carolina.
Ooh, it is gorgeous there. I had an opportunity to vacation there one time and look around, and even the drive. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, so the drive there was gorge, and they had all these places you can stop and look at the views. And we stopped all the time, like, whoa, it's definitely a place I'd like to get back to. So, oh, that's gorgeous. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
well,
yeah.
tell us about your professional, I guess, background. Like, let's go way back, like training, your area of training and things, and then maybe we'll fast forward to today and we'll fill in some gaps as we chat.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, medical training started out in diagnostic radiology.
Okay.
Loved peering inside the human body and being able to figure out what's going on with patients and help doctors actually be the doctor's doctor, help them figure out the etiologies, the causes of what's going on with their patient's symptoms and illnesses, and get to play with lots of really fun equipment, which has really progressed in the last several decades. I had a hard time deciding what to go into because I love so much, and radiology allowed me to actually not have to focus on a gender or specific age or specific part of the body. So, yeah, so that's where it started.
That's neat. Okay. And did you practice that for a while?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
was practicing for about 15 years
Okay.
in diagnostic radiology. I did a fellowship in body imaging to understand more deeply about imaging of the body and MRI and CAT scan and ultrasound.
Love
And yeah,
that.
then I was in practice. Hmm.
Love that. Well, I'm a neuroimmunologist, so I order MRIs all throughout my days and look at MRIs. MRIs and we're just like very intertwined. I share them on Zoom with my patients. That's their latest. And yeah, so our neuroradiology colleagues are part of the team. Okay, so that was 15 years of that. Are you still practicing medicine today?
Different kind of medicine,
Okay.
actually. So I have always been completely like, I don't say obsessed, but yeah, interested in wellness and
Okay.
well-being. And I came to the point where I started to find lots of things that were helping me feel better. I was having a lot of symptoms of my own that were not really explained by Western medicine, and they weren't really being helped by Western medicine.
Gotcha.
And I became certified in a lot of the things along the way that helped me so I could help other people. It
Nice.
started out in yoga therapy, and then meditation and life coaching, really weaving in body based and mindset work. And then I was introduced to the American College of Lifestyle Medicine
Okay.
by an already board certified physician who said they need to know about you. And I fell in love with the organization. I fell in love with what their passion was all about, and the evidence pointing to not only can we manage illnesses and diseases, but we can actually prevent them and reverse them and sometimes completely treat them based on our lifestyle changes. And that was super exciting for me. So I joined them as faculty. Actually, I wrote a chapter in the board review manual that was just published this past year in 2023 that lots of docs and other healthcare professionals used to study for the December exam on
Mhm.
emotional mental health and well-being. And I became certified as a lifestyle medicine physician wanting to work from the opposite end of healthcare as well, the prevention and reversal instead of just the management of symptoms, illnesses, and diseases. So um, that's where I am now. And
Very
it's super
interesting. How many
exciting.
radiologists do you meet on in that area at all?
I've only met less than fingers I have on one
I was
hand,
gonna
actually.
say, that is really interesting. I love that. That's really, you are unique, of course, in so many ways.
Oh,
But
well,
yeah, that's amazing. So that's how do you fill your days these days?
yeah. So My passion has been education in well-being for so many different populations.
Hmm.
When the pandemic hit, I focused predominantly on my colleagues, knowing that this pandemic was only going to make the already horrific stats of burnout and depression, anxiety, um, poor health, suicide, and so on go up. So I really pivoted, and it's interesting that most people go into lifestyle medicine to help their patients, to set up teams lots of times for their patients, lots of different individuals on the team, whether it be fitness, whether it be their nutrition, whether it be their mental health, their stress, and so on. And I said, well, if I didn't know this stuff, I want to teach this to other doctors and other healthcare professionals that never learned it either. So
Nice.
that's really been my trajectory, is let's educate those that are supposed to be educating others. Let them be the healthiest versions of themselves, and then let that trickle down. So that's really where I've been with Stress Free MD, my practice, which focuses on whole person health and elevating the health and well being of the whole human body, mind, spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
and predominantly healthcare professionals.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Do you want to tell us, maybe like, obviously with no names or anything, nothing identifiable, but in the last week, like somebody who seeks your services, like an example of maybe why they came to you and what happened after working with you.
Yeah, wow. I wish we had like 10
I know.
days, like,
You get to
but
only choose one
yeah,
for now,
well,
for now.
yeah. So well, just for those of you listening who don't know what lifestyle medicine is,
Yeah.
that would be a start. It
Right.
focuses on six key pillars of behavior, lifestyle behavior, and you can think of them as six spokes on a wheel, right? And the wheel needs
Hmm.
all of them to be functioning well, so you can be well. And
Hmm.
stress management is the one area I'm deeply passionate about, of course. And then we have healthful nutrition, exercise, social connection, nourishing sleep, and risky substances, which I call slash escapes, those things that you do instead of feeling the feelings and emotions and the things you want to avoid, right? So avoidance behaviors. And so we can also add nature. Nature's medicine is the seventh unofficial pillar that my colleague actually talks about a lot as well, because nature is also really, really important for your health and well-being. So to
Hmm.
answer your question, people come to me for lots of reasons. As the stress-free MD, frequently they start coming to me because of the stress levels in their life. They are screaming at their staff, their kids, their marriage is on the rocks, or their partner, their relationship with their partners on the rocks, issues with work, their staff. Um, they're not sleeping. They are exhausted. They wake up in the morning and they don't know how many more hours they have before they go back to sleeping in, but they just want to go back to bed, right? Exhausted
Hmm.
waking up. They've put
Hmm.
on all this extra weight that they can't get off,
Hmm.
right? There's no focus and concentration. Their body hurts. They have symptoms they can't explain.
Hmm.
um, there's so many reasons why people come to me. They want to get off the alcohol, they're drinking too much, right? They're some of the younger docs are like, wow, I want to prevent all the stuff that people are talking
Oh,
about.
good. Yeah. Thank goodness.
So
Hmm.
most recently, I just got a text 2 days ago that one of my clients lost 9 pounds. And this
That's a big
physician
deal.
has been trying for years and has
Oh,
been in other coaching programs, and wanted to do it the right way, knew how to diet, and I'm saying that in air quotes here for those of you
yeah.
listening. We like to think of it as your nutrition is really an eating pattern,
Yeah.
right? So but
Hmm.
it's not just the nutrition, everything works together. So stress is the umbrella under which all these other pillars fall. So when you're stressed out, you're going to eat the wrong foods. When you're stressed out, you're not going to sleep. When you're stressed out, you're not going to connect. When you're stressed out, you're not going to exercise, or you're going to over exercise. When you're
Hmm.
stressed out, you're going to be reaching for all those things that don't really serve your greatest good.
Yeah.
So just this week, I got one text about the weight loss, but I get texts and
Wonderful.
emails and phone calls all the time.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for the work that you do. It's neat. I'm so glad you're supporting those that support so many because that is so needed. And I do think, having someone personally work with you to kind of go through those pillars is a unique experience for a lot of us as healthcare professionals and it can help us be very intentional about each of those and the power of each of those which I think is really great. Now, would you call yourself a coach or a doc when you're doing those things? Is there a line between those two for you, or what would you say?
So I'm a physician always,
Okay,
but not practicing traditional medicine when I'm teaching behavior change.
gotcha.
So more of a coach.
Get more of a coach.
And
Yeah,
but utilizing what's evidence-based medicine.
love
And
it.
the beauty of that also is that there's no documentation. So someone comes to me with lots of emotions and issues with their mental health when it's not a mental health care professional that they need, and
Yeah.
nothing's documented. So people feel really safe working with me.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Even all of the medical history that I take and I have and we work with is very safe because it's not going to some, you know,
Or insurance or
HR,
something.
insurance.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So I
Yeah,
do
which is
like
a
to document.
concern. I mean, maybe we could
Mhm,
explain why that's a concern for some people. I mean, that's where the Lorna Breen Foundation, nationally
mhm.
has been working so aggressively to try to help and make a difference because sometimes some physicians, the state medical board, if they seek mental health care, they have to put that on their boards, on their state boards. And that sometimes is a limitation to actively practicing medicine in that state. And, there's a lot that can be said about that. But I do, if you want to read someone who's doing really great, impactful work, the Lorna Breen Foundation. And unfortunately, that is the name of a woman physician who took her life. And, one of the thoughts that the family is saying is that she didn't have the ability to get mental health care because she was concerned about it being on her license, that she might not be able to then practice medicine. And so maybe she did not seek care because of that. And that's why they're working with governments and they have funding and they're, giving grants and they're trying to make change in policy, which is where it's needed, I'm very grateful for all of those that are boots on the ground trying to make a difference in so many ways in the environment for physician wellness, including yourself. Thank you. So how would you describe a coach? Because what we've seen over, gosh, I don't know, some years, is that there's a lot of solid literature now about the benefits of coaching physicians. And coaching is like I was in a meeting recently with maybe 300 women neurologists, and it was a discussion about professional development, and someone said something about coaching was the most impactful thing I've done because then she worked with a coach and she took time to figure out what was important to her. And she came up with this. She now has a profession that she really enjoys and it helps her be with her kids more. She just realized what was important to her and what she was looking for. And she found, a work pattern that is really great for her. And she got up and said, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have a coach. A coach really helped me figure out what was important. And everyone in the room turned around and said, what is a coach? How do you find a coach? Why would I get a coach? What can a coach do for you? So there was a lot of coach discussion, and I thought it was very interesting because I am a coach at work and I'm newly certified business coach. So I really I feel like coaching is really impactful. So how do you describe a coach?
Yeah, well, I'm so glad to hear that your colleagues at the meeting are having such impact in their own life with coaching. It really
Mhm.
changed my life. And I get this question a lot. So I like to think of it as this. If you are injured and you need to go to a physical therapist, that
Mhm.
physical therapist works with you to get you back to where you were. And then you work with a personal trainer. And the personal trainer takes you from where you began and helped you move forward to create the goals to be successful in what you desire. So I see this analogy like a coach. So if you, for example, needed a mental health care professional, which I think everyone should have on board, there is no
Mhm.
stigma in my mind. I have a therapist, I have a coach. I think they're amazing, different purposes. Mental
Mhm.
health care professional acts like the physical therapist that helps you process and get back to the point that you were. And then the coach comes in and helps you move forward to achieve your goals successfully, to fulfill the desires, to help you have that really meaningful, joyful life that you deserve. And so that helps me when I'm thinking about it. And it's a really wonderful visual for so many others that have asked that question.
That is
Um,
very unique. I love that. Yeah, so that is very good. I might have heard like forward facing and things, but I think,
mhm.
helping use the trainer analogy and the PT analogy again because of MS, is the disease I treat most often. We're always talking about PT and trainers, and that's amazing. I love it. So you said
Yeah.
we were talking about how you fill your days, and
Hmm.
you're a coach,
Hmm.
and you are always a physician, you said.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
also tell me you have a podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
tell
a
us about your
podcast.
podcast so I'll put all the links at the end so everybody can find you. But yeah, tell us about your podcast, please.
Yeah, I'd love to. So,
Mhm.
same name as the practice, Stress Free MD, the Stress Free
Okay.
MD podcast,
Hmm.
which is a way to share short, actionable bites of information and tools to help you relieve your stress. And it's on streaming on all major platforms, or you can
Yay.
check it out on my website. It's there too. And yeah, and then what else do I do during the day besides one-on-one coaching? I do group coaching. I coach for organizations. I coach for practices, groups that reach out to me that ask me to create programs for them. I present and lead retreats. I am writing a book, which will be coming out this year, which I'm super excited about.
Yay.
And yes,
Cool.
and just, lecture virtually or in person, really any way that individuals or groups want to consume information. I also have online programs for individuals who like self-paced online content. So some people prefer that. Really try to tap into how do people like to learn best and then
Mhm.
create lots of different ways for individuals to learn in that way.
Wow, you are busy. Are you staying well yourself? You doing
I
okay?
am. Every morning I get up and do my own meditation, my own yoga
Nice.
therapy, and
Yeah,
I hit the gym or my Peloton, whether I'm at the gym or home. I get all my self-care in the morning so I can be
I love it.
150% present for everyone else. And yeah, and I'm
Amazing.
CME for everything. So I do believe that healthcare professionals should have credit and deserve credit for learning to take care of themselves. So that's another really important piece.
Oh, there's
Um,
CME for, tell me again. Tell me more about that.
CME for everything, for the online content, for the
Okay.
individual and group coaching,
Oh,
for
okay.
my podcast, for my
Come on.
lectures, for my retreats. Anytime I
Okay.
show up,
You can
whether
see
it's in
me.
your ears or in person or on
Wow,
virtually,
that's
there's CME.
huge. Okay,
Yeah.
so that means people a lot of times can use their institutional money to take advantage
Hmm.
of some of your programs. Great.
Hmm.
Well, what's your next retreat?
Yeah, so we're going to Africa in January. This time next year, we have
Wow.
to prepare a year ahead because we need to get the primate trekking permits several months ahead.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
healthcare professionals are welcome, and anyone who's a non-healthcare professional who wants to attend, as long as they're with a healthcare professional or reach out to us, we can make that happen.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll be weaving in lifestyle medicine principles, the pillars each day to elevate health and well-being while seeing incredible animals in their natural habitat and doing
Oh
this.
my
Yeah,
gosh. Love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Where, and do you have any other retreats this year, this calendar year?
Private retreats. People have reached
Gotcha.
out for me to create some private retreats.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
there was an
Neat.
organization where a physician died from suicide. And so they've asked us,
Sorry.
another
Yeah.
partner of mine that leads retreats, to come in and create a retreat for that organization. So
Oh
we are
gosh.
doing
Yeah.
that in the spring. I have had a law practice reach out to ask for retreat for them and
Oh, I
group
love
coaching.
that.
So really, I'm not limited to healthcare professionals,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's my avatar. But
Yeah.
if someone reaches out and they need help and they have a group, then,
Yeah. Yeah.
tailor it to them. But that's what I've got going on right now. So one
Oh,
that I've scheduled, we had one in the fall for healthcare professionals here in North Carolina, which was amazing.
amazing.
And then if you want something specific and tailored to your group,
That's
do
neat.
that too. Yeah.
You're flexible. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for helping that group of the physician that passed. Like, yeah, that's just really impactful work. Yeah. Well, thank you for all you're doing and all that and sharing your time today and explaining coaching in a very unique way. So I one of my goals of my channel is to explain coaching. And so I asked most of my guests, and so that was a very unique way to explain it. But I think that analogy is really clear. So I love that. Um, any parting words for our audience? Any tips or resources? Obviously, I'm going to put all the links in the show notes so that you can find Stress Free MD, the podcast, and get CME. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything CME. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Parting words, Dr. Tiger.
Parting words would be there might be a lot of listeners thinking, I should know all this stuff already. And I'm inviting you to wash that shit off.
Right.
Okay, no shitting yourself. That
Yeah.
the reason you don't know any of this information is because you were never taught. Okay, so you don't know what you don't know, and I'm here to
Hmm.
share with you that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You just never learned it. I learned it later in life,
Hmm.
and it's never too late to take control of your health and well-being because actually that's the only thing that you can be in control of. I know that, the workplace can be a mess, but you still can be the healthiest, happiest version of yourself, independent of all of that. And I hear lots of times, how can I get started? And so I do have 4 free, short, 5 minutes each videos on my website, stressfreemd.net, where you
Hmm.
can go on and start practicing along with me a few of these stress relieving tools. And they're really short intentionally because I know how busy you are.
Hmm.
So if you're sitting there saying, okay, how do I get started? Pop on the website, go to where it says feel calm now,
I
and I'll
love it.
send these videos to your inbox.
Love it. Yes. Yeah, just try something new because it's a new part of the year, which is always a good time to think about, what your typical day looks like and little thing you can add because the small changes are the things that really add up over time. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Tiger, for all that you do. My gosh. Yes. So intentional in every way. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. All the best to you. And everybody, check out all the links in the show notes so you can find all this good stuff. It's all there for you. All right, everybody, stay well. I'm going to,